Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different twists and turns as well as surprises in this film, while also adding in new elements and aspects to the Star Wars franchise that fans have never seen before on the big screen. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So one aspect of Episode 9 that a lot of fans, including myself, are actually really looking forward to is, of course, not just the different quests and adventures that our heroes and villains will be going on, but it's also all about the space battles, the land battles, and even the lightsaber duels that J.J. Abrams is going to bring back into Episode 9 in a bigger way than fans have ever seen before in the Star Wars franchise. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for this movie. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of Rey and Kylo Ren wielding both of their lightsabers, where it's described that Kylo is trying to turn Rey to the dark side of the Force by revealing new revelations about her past that she never knew about, that causes her to go into a phase of rage, where the Force Ghost voice of Luke Skywalker is said to guide her throughout the fight to focus on the Force. The next describes Rey lifting up debris and tossing it toward Kylo, where he is able to dodge them and cut the debris with his lightsaber, where it said that he begins to get closer to Rey, where he is speed walking toward her. Their lightsabers are said to clash together, where it's described that the environment around them begins to change to the world of Mustafar, where they are now near Darth Vader's fortress and fighting just below the base of the castle, where lava can be seen in the background. It's said that Rey and Kylo have to pause their duel every so seconds to avoid the lava on the ground to prevent themselves from stepping on it. One of the sequences includes Kylo Ren throwing his lightsaber at Rey, where it's said to just miss her upper arm, leaving a small cut where she drops Anakin's lightsaber on the ground and picks it back up, where eventually Rey makes a surprise attack against Kylo by sprinting toward him and kicking him down to the ground, where he is rolling down a hill near the lava, almost mirroring of what happened to Anakin Skywalker in Episode 3, while Rey jumps and strikes and attempts to strike Kylo Ren by use of her lightsaber against Kylo's, where they magically appear back on the First Order battlefield. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, this is obviously yet another part of the flash fight sequences in Episode 9 that are going to be quite a prominent moment in Episode 9 as a whole when it comes to the lightsaber duels and stuff like that. So, a lot of people are expressing mixed reactions on the flash fights, quote unquote, which is a mixture between force bonds, flashbacks, flash forwards, and just a regular lightsaber duel. Now, in my mind, this is probably the perfect way for J.J. Abrams to explore different worlds of the Star Wars franchise within the Skywalker saga in a very small amount of time during an actual lightsaber duel. I mean, it's pretty brilliant in my point of view. I think it's rather exciting to see. So when we think about this in Episode 9, you know, we do know that they are going to some of the most popular planets. We're talking about Mustafar here, Tatooine, Endor, Naboo, you name it. Now, in this particular scenario, they're actually fighting each other in the beginning, where they eventually are relocated to the planet of Mustafar, just under Darth Vader's castle this time. Now, the other sequence that we went over a couple of days ago involved them on another location in Mustafar, where they were actually far away from the castle. So from what it seems, they will be reappearing in these worlds twice, maybe even 3 times back and forth through different worlds of the Skywalker saga eras. So what I like about Episode 9 here is that this is a great callback not just to Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, but it's also a great callback to that of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, the very first time that Mustafar ever appeared on film. So the one part that really does impress me the most is how it's described that they are fighting underneath the base of Darth Vader's fortress. And you guys may recall a couple of months ago, we went over how one of the set pieces that were actually being used over at Cardington was the actual bottom part of Darth Vader's castle. And it was really, confusing at the time as to exactly how they would be bringing back Mustafar and how they would be bringing back Darth Vader's castle. Would they actually be going to the planet of Mustafar, or would it actually be used in a different sense? And this seems to fall directly in line with the different ideas in place of the flash fights, where they're not going to really be there from what it seems. It seems that all these locations of the planets from the different eras of the Skywalker saga are just illusions, if you will, or I guess you could say imitations, if you will, of those planets, right? So that's a very interesting way to look at it. It's kind of like looking at The Force Awakens Forceback vision and creating that into an actual lightsaber duel between two characters linked up together, where they are both experiencing these Force visions that they are both having. So yes, it does sound very crazy and wacky to a lot of people out there. At the same exact time, a lot of people are also really enjoying and are very satisfied about this idea by JJ of the flash fights that will appear in Episode 9. In fact, we got a first look at these flash fights on the cover of the art book of The Rise of Skywalker. We see sequences involving, Kylo Ren attempting to strike Rey and vice versa. It really seems like that they are trying their very hardest to show the conflict between both Rey and Kylo, going through the ages, right? Going through the films that all Star Wars fans are very familiar with. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.